So then my question is, how can communication practices support ethical responsibility of AI? And that is really looking at how do we talk about the responsibility? How do ethics come up? What is ethics? And I know Andre mentioned a little bit around the biases and so forth. So how do we bring that into this exciting environment of AI, but how do we make it real for people? What is actually needed?
I think if we want to speed up the adoption of AI and the use, we have to make sure people trust it. And by trusting it, we have to be transparent about what it can do. I think we have to make sure we set expectations so people don't think it can do, who knows, but we have to manage their expectations. This is what it can do. This is what it can't do. This is what it might do. As you mentioned, hallucinate. Some of them still do. So I get great
Mhm.
answers and I just think, oh no. We have to make sure that people are able to provide their experiences back to us as feedback. So how are you experiencing it? What do you see? So I think if we do that, and also governance. I know some people say that we should just let it go and let it do what it wants, but I think it's important that we can pull back a little and say, it does this. How can we, if not, I don't know if one day we might not be able to take it back what it does, but how can we at least mitigate it, respond to it? And I think it's important to know, what is AI doing? What are people doing with it? What are people doing to it? Are we programming it? Is it thing? And I think it's a lot of things that people have to still work down the road that people have not done. And maybe the next 5, 10 years that'll be answered. But I think it's going to come down to, do people trust the system? I know people probably had a hard time when they gave up their data for automation to banking online and things, but how do you overcome resistance and how do you make people want to use it? But you have to then deal with the biases and make sure it's not causing harm and that sort of thing. And I'd love to be part of that conversation more, but yes, I'm waiting to see what happens there.